Okay. Good afternoon. We are in our Lunch and Learn. We have our Gather and Grow session. This is being recorded so it can be shared with all of our arts and culture partners throughout the county of Placer. And I am Patrick Storm with the Lemon Tree Agency. I'm here for the Arts Council. We have Darcy Frank. I will rename you from the Ben Frank. And we have Tawana Armstrong and Barbara Burge with our board. We have some special guests as well. So again, thank you, MaryTess Mayall with Blue Line Arts for joining us as our keynote speaker today. And I'm going to hand it off to Darcy to get us started.
Guys, we have Tawana slated to do a couple of the first two announcements.
Tawana, you have the
start.
Patrick, that was totally fine.
Thank you.
Totally fine. Thank you guys so much for joining us today. Please make sure you share the information. We are so looking forward to bringing you 40 more years of art implementation, integration, influence, impact, whatever we can do to make sure that Placer County is the destination place for art. I, for one, as board chair, want to do my part because I believe art will save humanity. And ACPC is going to be that vehicle that I hope that I'll be able to help push, drive, promote, whatever we can do to make sure that humanity has as much art as possible. I get the distinct pleasure of somewhat introducing a woman who needs no introduction. She's been one of my favorites. She knows that. As co-director for Blue Lines, I had the opportunity to meet her and her former co-director and thought they were awesome from the very beginning. They took over Blue Lines, and I've just been amazed at what they can do by making it blossom. She joins us today to share with you about the cultural mapping study and provide some highlights on how we can make sure that there's life from that cultural mapping study. The work is fantastic. So we're happy to have MaryTess Mayall with us, from the executive director with Blue Line. MaryTess, please take it away.
Okay, I'll share my screen here. Oh.
It should allow you.
Yep.
There you go.
Okay. Present. Is that okay?
And MaryTess, while you're getting set up, I wanted to give a little backstory too to build on what Tawana had shared, that we're just delighted that this cultural mapping study, one, has been completed, and two, Blue Line is already putting it to use. So they're integrating it into their operations. And we want to make sure, if you have not seen the study yet, it is posted on our website. And when we get back to the chats, I'll add that link, because there's recommendations, not just for Arts Council of Placer County, but also for any of our arts organizations in Placer County that you can do in the daily plan. So we're super excited that they're taking it and running already.
Great, thank you. Can you all see the presentation, or can you see my notes too?
We can see your notes too.
Oh, okay, weird. Let me present a different way. Sorry. Presenter view, present. Enter full screen.
I think because it's a screen share, it'll always show that, because it's thinking that you're connected to a so if you just hit the full screen in the corner of the, so do the got it.
Can you see everything now? The presentation?
No, we're still seeing the presenter window with the pop-up box.
Okay.
And then if you hit that full screen in the corner right below the preview, or right above the preview. Nope, down on the right corner.
Oh,
there you go, that one.
Okay.
There you go. That's large enough for us to see. And we'll see your notes as long as there's nothing personal in there. We're okay with that.
Okay. Oh, that's too bad. Well, you can see my notes too. But yeah, Blue Line Arts, right here in the heart of downtown Roseville. If you haven't visited us before, we would love to have you. But yes, I definitely want to thank the Arts Council of Placer County for the opportunity. I thought they did an absolutely amazing job with their cultural mapping study. And when I went through and read everything that was in there, a lot of it just reinforced the work that we are already doing, which was amazing. And then it also gave us kind of like a renewed sense of focus of what we are planning to do in the next coming years too. So with that, here's the agenda for today. I'm really planning on diving in on why equity is so important, and we really use it as a lens for everything that we do here in the organization. I'm also going to be chatting about workforce development and the different programs that we have. This is by no means like an exhaustive list, and I don't really see myself as an expert in this area, but our whole organization really tries to do everything that we can, and this is really just a jumping off point for us. So this is me, I'm executive director here. It's definitely an honor and a privilege to lead this organization. I've been with them for about 7 years now. And I'm so excited. We just adopted a new strategic plan last fall too, which already had a lot of these priorities of equity, workforce development, and youth programming in it already. So I'm really hoping that for the people that are watching today, this inspires you to do this very important work as well. And if you have any questions, please feel free to put them in the chat. I would love to answer them afterwards. So first off, I'll start with our mission. This is an updated mission here. So we are a regional cultural hub that's committed to fostering impactful arts experiences. So we do this best through our gallery programming, such as exhibitions, educational programming, such as the Tour, Talk, and Create field trip image that you see here, and then our public arts initiatives. But we're really focusing on making sure that we are supporting a full creative life for all. And we do this every day in everything that we do, and we know that the work is still just beginning. We haven't crested it quite yet, but these are just the vision of what we want to continue to be for the community. So with that, our organization really took a look at ourselves during the pandemic, and for the first time we adopted a cultural equity statement. And this is a statement that we really look at as a guideline and something that we always come back to and look at whenever we are creating new programs or new policies, because we want to make sure that we are creating an environment that is equitable and is really designed for as many people as possible. So with that, I wanted to share some reasons why this work is important. We really believe that everyone deserves equal access to opportunities and resources. So we're really trying to do everything that we can to make it a welcoming and inclusive place here in our community. We have faced some challenges. I've listed them here. And if any of you and your organizations are facing these challenges too, know that you're not alone. And I've listed a couple of strategies that we have used to try and move the needle a little bit. We know that this is just the beginning, but it is very important work to make sure that we are creating a community that is not just for a few, but is for everyone. So, we are seeking to work with diverse artists and collaborators. We offer scholarships to those in need. We're really looking for grant opportunities that align with these initiatives. So trying to be more selective in what we are doing, and making sure that we are connecting with different communities that could benefit from our arts programming too. So with that, we're really trying to make sure that we are approaching diversity, accessibility, and outreach in as many different ways as possible. So this photo in the slide here is how we were able to reach some classrooms and schools during the pandemic. So we completely retooled our Tour, Talk, and Create field trip program to not only be on site, which luckily it is back to doing that now, but we put all of our art projects together in bags that went out to the schools. And then we had Zoom meetings with the teaching artists so that they could lead the class step by step through each project. So really trying to meet schools where they're at. And we also try and make sure that we are accessible for those with disabilities too. We have Placer ARC, a local organization here on Vernon Street, even come in for tours as well. But really trying to engage different communities and make sure that we are a welcoming atmosphere for them. So now on to workforce development. So we still approach workforce development through a lens of equity. We are prioritizing paid internships as much as possible. Historically, unfortunately, this hasn't been the case because we are a nonprofit and we have a very tight budget that we're working with, but we were very grateful to receive a grant from the California Arts Council 2 years ago called Jumpstart, which helped us pay for youth to come in for paid internships, so ages 14 to 24. We're still in the midst of that program now, but through that program, we have made other connections with organizations that have paid internship programs, such as Golden Sierra. They're a job training agency out in Placer County, and they also have funds for paid internships. So the youth that are coming in for our paid internships through Jumpstart, we are then able to connect them with Golden Sierra for them to continue to pay them, which has been really wonderful. We also maintain partnerships with local institutions, which has been very valuable as well. We've found that when interns have college credit that they can get by the end of their internship, it helps with their retention in these programs. All of our internships are about 3 months long or 100 hours. I feel like I could do a whole presentation on internships. I absolutely love them. And it's actually how I got my start in this organization too, as an intern over 7 years ago now. So it's very near and dear to my heart. But with workforce development, internships is one thing, but workshops for artists. We have a great partnership with the Growth Factory's Venture Lab here in downtown Roseville. They serve small startup businesses, and they also lead 4 of our professional development workshops that we do each year, which has been great. So it covers topics like financing, financial planning, business planning, marketing, really the business side of what artists do, because a lot of time artists have to be their own entrepreneur. We also offer teaching artist opportunities, opportunities for artists to sell their work both on-site and off-site. We have an Art at Work program where we partner with local businesses and rotate their art displays quarterly. So it really helps artists have more solo shows that they can add to their CV as well, which really helps their career too. And then volunteer opportunities. Sometimes we have people that come to us and they really want to grow a certain type of skill set, like front desk reception or data entry, or learning how we do our exhibition layout. So internships are one good way, but volunteer opportunities are also a great way too. And now for our youth programming. This is really the cornerstone of what we love to do here at Blue Line Arts, because the youth really are the next generation, which then go into the workforce. So it's really completing the whole circle, right? So we have seasonal art camps that we do every year. Summer camps is by far most popular. So we run sessions Monday through Friday, AM and PM sessions. and that's for ages 5 to 18 in a variety of different mediums. And lately our design and anime design has been the most popular. We were very grateful to receive grant funds for new iPads and Apple Pens, which has been wonderful. Our after school programs, we do those on site here and also off site at different schools. And then our field trips for K through 12 grades. And we really make sure that we prioritize serving Title I students. And we have found through the surveys that we've done, and I'll talk a little bit about those later, is that I believe it was 90% of all of the teachers who we surveyed did not have a designated arts teacher at their school. So we were finding that the students that were coming in for these field trips were coming in and seeing art for the first time, you know, getting their hands on supplies for the first time. A lot of them don't even know how to use scissors. So, you know, it's really an important program, and one that I'm very grateful that we have grant funds from California Arts Council to be able to continue this work through 2024. So we have served, I think, almost 500 students so far this year, but we have another 500 scheduled through the end of this year. And then 2024, we will be serving another 2,000. But luckily, as far as youth programming goes, I don't have this in the slides, but Prop 28 passed last year. So Prop 28 is guaranteeing funds for public schools that they are able to spend on a full-time credentialed art teacher. But the schools that are too small or maybe don't have the budget for a full-time credentialed art teacher, we really want to make sure that we are offering our field trips or other type of programs to help them serve their students. Another popular program, it's been great for engagement with families, has been our First Saturday program for families. So that happens in the gallery from 11 to 2 p.m. And we really reuse our Tour, Talk, and Create programming to allow families to work on those projects together. So they have the whole lesson plans, which are all informed by the California and National Core Art Standards. To make sure that they are getting the most out of their experience, and all the projects are inspired by work that they are seeing firsthand in the gallery. Another popular program has been our youth mural projects too. We've been doing those mostly on site here at Blue Line Arts. We have a little side secret art alleyway, if you will, that we've been able to run those programs, but we also do them at local schools as well. But definitely prioritizing, you know, full scholarships and keeping these programs free or at the lowest cost possible. So talking about costs and things, all of these things do take money and time and a lot of work to make sure that they are run, and making sure that they are sustainable as well. So we are so grateful to have partners such as the City of Roseville. The Downtown Roseville Partnership has also been an amazing funder for us as well. They are the business improvement district for our area. They're really passionate about the murals, and they have been great partners. We also receive funds from California Arts Council and the Arts Council of Placer County. We are so grateful for the funding to be able to do this important work. And you know, these partnerships take time. Relationship building is really important to us, and making sure that we are partnering with the people that align with the mission, and making sure that it's mutually beneficial. You know, I'm so grateful that we have, you know, clear goals in mind when we're doing this work, and it really helps communicate our value and our impact, and also you know, promoting the different businesses and organizations that are doing the amazing work of funding these programs. So with that, measuring impact and success is really, really important to us. We have been diving deeper on this work within the last year with our new strategic plan, but demonstrating the value of who we are and what we do is so important, not only for writing grants, but also for building these relationships with different businesses. So we've really been prioritizing data collection, how many people were served, where they're coming from. We've even added a new check-in system at the front of our gallery. So we used to just have people, write in, their name, or if they want to sign up for our email address. And now everyone who comes in, we have them enter in their information. So we're asking them, how many people are in your group? What zip code are you coming from? And they can opt into our email address at that time. This has really helped just, keep all of our systems running really well. So regular surveys are really important to us too. Every program that we do, we're sending out a survey at the end, including our field trips too. So we're surveying all of the teachers that come in, and not only the quantitative data of how many people are coming in, but the qualitative or anecdotal comments that teachers are leaving us. One of the common ones is that teachers are finding that their low academic performers and their ESL students are the ones who are the most engaged during our field trip program. So seeing that connection there, that's something that's hard to measure, but the teachers are seeing that, oh, wow, the people that are usually like not engaged at all are the ones who are raising their hand first and answering all of the questions. And, it really builds confidence for them too, which is amazing to see. And our organization is planning on being more transparent and forthright with this information too. So be looking out for that within the next year. So with the next year and future directions, we are working on expanding our audiences, making sure that we are having impactful programs. And with that, I'm really excited to share with you that in the new year, we received a Creative Core grant for uplifting Indigenous voices. So that will be coming up in April 2024. We are so grateful to be working with Native American artist Tiffany Adams. And she is going to be having a solo show and a group show and lots of other fun educational programming along with that. We're also, we all actually just received word from the California Arts Council for a new grant that uplifts LGBTQIA voices. So that will be happening June 2024. There'll be a juried show, panel discussion, and something really important for our organization to be sharing with the community, because open dialogue is the beginning of healing the difficult things that have been happening. So with some of our upcoming shows, I wanted to make a plug for what we have currently in the gallery, which is Cutting Edge, a contemporary glass exhibition. And we are so excited to have Nicholson Van Altena also has a solo show in the feature foyer. And we are hosting an artist meet and greet for them this Saturday. So we would love to have you stop by. That's from 12 to 2. To come in and meet them. And then we are so thrilled and excited for the 30th annual Plaza Artist Studios preview show that's coming up next. And the last show we have this year is Natural Elements, 30 by 30 and Handmade for the Holidays. We didn't have 30 by 30 last year, and so many people were so disappointed. So we're so excited to bring that back. So it's 30 works in 30 days. It's like an artist challenge, but all of the work is small size, so 6 by 6, which is really great. So in this slide too, I wanted to just list some ways of getting involved if you're interested. If anything I talked about today resonated with you, we have lots of opportunities, no matter what your commitment level is. Just simply, giving us a follow or sharing our work with others. We absolutely would love that. And if any of the organizations or people on here are interested in chatting with me further on any of these initiatives, I mean, I could do a whole nother presentation on internships or youth programming or any of those different programs. And I also have an amazing team too. I would not be able to do that without them. Gallery coordinator, we have Zach and Andy and Kristen and Eddie, our marketing coordinator. So everyone here is definitely excited to meet you and see how we can do this work together. So that's our little gallery right there. Come and visit us. We're open Tuesday through Saturday, 11 to 5. And then any questions? Oh,
Questions out there?
There is a question in the chat wanting to know if you are sharing your PowerPoint.
sure. Yeah, I'd be happy to. Yeah, Darcy, you can share out the PDF I sent earlier.
Okay, great. And I see
Sorry,
Amber.
I had to come a little late, so I don't want to miss anything. Apologies.
Glad you're here. No, glad you're here. Hey, MaryTess, thank you so much. Oh my gosh, you are bringing to life that cultural mapping study with all that you do, and you do it with such ease. We know. So we appreciate you. Thank you for sharing today. Oh my gosh, and I'm looking forward to joining Blue Lines at several of the opportunities there. So
I want to check before I added some announcements to one. Are there any other questions for MaryTess?
I have one.
Yeah.
On your digital check-in, when people are visiting, I'm guessing you're doing that on an iPad?
We are, yeah. So we actually use the same iPad that we use for our Square point of sale. We just, X out of Square and have our form up there for people to tap in. But if people don't want to use the iPad, we also have a little sign for people to check in with the QR code so they can do it on their phone too.
Perfect. Yeah, I was just going to suggest that's spectacular. And are you using a subscription service for that, or are you just using something like Google Forms or?
We're using Airtable.
Airtable. Perfect. Wonderful.
All right.
Thank you.
This is not a question for MaryTess, but it's a comment about what we've been discussing.
Sure.
The Art League of Lincoln also early on used some of the data from the cultural mapping study for a grant they applied for and they received. And I actually got a call from them thanking us for that data because they felt that was one of the tipping points for their grants. So we do have a lot of data. So anybody who's writing grants, check that data because you may be able to fill in some boxes that the grant is asking for.
And Barbara, you just created the perfect segue. Everyone, please save the date, October 12th. Speaking of the AEP6 study, that was the study we partnered with and Sacramento Alliance for Regional Arts partnered with. So we have Sacramento County, Placer County, and communities all over the nation. They've done the economic impact study on the nonprofit arts and culture industry, and they're having their first virtual launch of the new data from that study on October 12th. So does anyone not have the link yet? We've sent it out in an email. Yay. Yay. Definitely save the date and be the first to get that information. Just as Barbara said, you can use it then as power to leverage the work that you're doing and have people understand we have a positive impact on our communities. Mm-hmm. Along those lines, this is a good time for me to cut in. We have to announce a winner. We're very excited for thank you to all of our organizations who completed an organizational study as part of AEP6. And one lucky winner, drum roll please. Lincoln Theater Company is the winner of free graphic design. That was our prize on the line for taking part in the survey. So thank you. I will follow up with them. Going to throw in a couple more quick announcements. MaryTess highlighted how important strategic partnerships are. Arts Council of Placer County presented to our Placer County Board of Supervisors. We've renewed our contract and they are happy to support and happy to help. So kind of like the opening pitch at a baseball game, please invite them to your events. They are ready and willing to participate in any way. Inviting them is great. If you can have them be a part of the introductions, whatever works for your event and your organization, please include them. All of their contact information can be found on the Placer County website. And also coming from Placer County, we'll have another round of community arts grants. So watch for information. Those will be out in January. We'll try to host a workshop in December Barbara Burge will come to you live with information on how to apply and what to do. I think that hits the key announcements I had. Can I send it off to Patrick to talk about November Arts and Culture Month?
Yep. I'm having internet issues. I keep getting kicked out of the room and my connection keeps dropping. So I don't know if it's a local thing for Xfinity with me. So I apologize if I freeze. It lets me back in about 15-30 seconds. So let me try to get through this. So November is our Arts and Culture Month. Just as a reminder, we really encourage all of our local partners to build Facebook events and then create the @Placer Arts co-host request. And then just message us and let us know that you've done that. We get 1,000 different notifications a day. So I don't want to miss any, so that we can accept your notification and make it onto our Facebook page as well. The advantage of that, Blue Line takes advantage of this all day long. Thank you, thank you, thank you. It then automatically puts it onto our website for community events. So that's how you get it. If you ever wondered how are you getting onto our website for the listings, it's you go into the Facebook, you put it onto your page, you just simply add @Placer Arts as a co-host. If you are not familiar with how to do that, do not hesitate ever to reach out to me. Darcy just put my email address in there as well. It's just patrick@lemontreeagency.com. So, and you can always call my cell number as well. I'm going to give that to you verbally. It's 916-690-6894. So do not hesitate to reach out to me. I will be happy to walk your social media person through how to make us co-host. I do not recommend making other organizations co-hosts of events. I like to be your trusted partner because of how we do this. If you make someone, like let's say you have Holiday Inn Express as one of your key sponsors and you make them a co-host, if they're unfamiliar with how to do something and they have someone else come in, they can say, oh, this has nothing to do with this. And if they hit delete or cancel, it is not them taking it off their page. They are deleting the entire event. And anyone that said interested will then get a notification that the event is canceled. So only your most trusted partners like myself and the Arts Council of Placer County. I always try to caveat that we will never, ever, ever cancel or delete your event. We are very, very passionate about that. Okay. Any events that you have going on, please let us know. We are here to promote it. More than anything, though, we are already getting requests from Good Day Sacramento of where they can go to help us promote not only the arts tour, but the Arts and Culture Month for all of Placer County. So I know that we're going to try to set something up with Kristen for the promotion of the Nutcracker in December, because even though this is November that we're talking about for arts and culture, it's about also reminding them to purchase the tickets and to buy the subscriptions and to become supporters all year long. And then we will also be going back with the media for the big day of giving for, I believe it's May 7th this year. So which we will be participating in that as well. And we encourage you to follow along and to make sure that you are also on the big day of giving. If you haven't, you can check that out as well. Just keyword big day of giving or the Sacramento Regional Foundation. If you don't have that information, again, don't hesitate to reach out to us and we will push you in the right direction. Do we have any questions about Arts and Culture Month?
And everyone smile quickly. I'm going to do a quick screenshot.
Oh, screenshot.
Thanks for being here today.
Do we do a goofy face too now? No.
Hey, I want to make sure that I extend the plug on behalf of the board. As you have your meetings, please reach out to ACPC board members. If at any time we can be there for you, just to come in, share our support, and please join us at our board meetings. We would love to have you there. They're the third Wednesdays via Zoom, or if it's another location, if you please sign up for our newsletter to get that information. And I'm also going to put in a plug for our Board of Supervisors. Darcy spoke about the presentation that ACPC did to them. It was so well received. And I have no doubt that if they can attend any of your events, they will be there. So please, as you are doing your events, extending your invitations, keep them in mind, the Board of Supervisors.
Perfect.
I have, oh, go ahead.
Okay, I just add on to that, tail end on to that. And I've said this before, is if you're aware of any organizations, local, Lions Club, anybody who wants to know more about the arts in Placer County, please let us know. I've been going out the last year and giving overviews of what we do at ACPC, and the rest of the board's going to be drawn into that. Last night I did it at the Rockland Rockland Arts Committee. I was invited to do that, and I was amazed on how much information I was able to give them that they were unaware of. So if you know anybody, any organization, any group, please reach out to us. That's what we do. We want to make sure that everybody knows how we can help you, help us promote the arts in Placer County.
Absolutely. And with that also, I wanted to, let me share my screen here for a second. As you can see here, Darcy made a wonderful poster that we're having a couple printed up, but she will be emailing that out as well so that you can download and print it to help encourage our community to celebrate arts and culture all month in November. Beautiful job on that, Darcy.
We'll also, as a part of the November promotions, feature a fantastic organization each week. So I want to invite each of you, I just put into the chat a link where you can just quickly nominate an organization who's worthy of that recognition.
Self-nominations are okay.
Yeah. We've as a part of our 40 icons of art, we nominated some fantastic places and people, and additionally groups like Southside Art Unlimited, Auburn Hip Hop Congress, and Access Dance. We took a quick moment to also acknowledge them. We thought there's more great organizations. So please.
Contagious, Patrick.
I'm sorry, I was cutting out.
Those who serve them. Ooh,
Darcy,
that's okay. There's a nomination
Okay.
form to nominate a great organization, and more free promotions. Who doesn't love free promotions? We will be happy to put out on social media. We'll share those arts organizations with you, and we will be really pumping everything we can. There's one other thought I had and it just escaped me. So if anybody has anything else going on in November, please tell us about it.
No problem. And congratulations, Auburn Symphony and the Placer Artist Studios Tour on a phenomenal concert in the park, Art and Symphony and Art in the Park. That was great, wonderful crowd, incredible performance, and it's just a great variety of artists that were there. So now we have to get ballerinas involved in that too. So it's art, dance, and symphony in the park. So maybe we can have
We'll do it.
Yay! So maybe we can have some
We have a
ballerinas
drum
there, some
circle.
dancers.
We got Sam Padilla there this year with the drum circle, so that was a new addition.
Yeah.
Beautiful. Loved that. I don't know where we have so many families that come that people are often in motion and dancing out in the audience, but yeah. But thank you. I appreciate that.
Or maybe we get some live music for next year's Lake Tahoe Dance Festival. That would be awesome to have a live musical performance at Tahoe right next to the water. So all we need is one, right?
I'll be reaching out. If I could pose a question, I'm
Please.
Kristen Hanna. I'm Lake Tahoe Dance Collective. Sorry, my Zoom isn't working, so I'm on the version where it didn't type in Lake Tahoe Dance Collective. Up here in Tahoe, I don't really participate as much in the Big Day of Giving because it's kind of a Sacramento region thing.
Yeah.
We focus a majority of our fundraising from individuals on Giving Tuesday. And that's kind of right in Nutcracker season, this horrible thing. But the Tahoe Truckee Community Foundation has put some muscle behind it in terms of matching grants and prizes and stuff. So it's an easy sell. Is that do you guys sort of avoid Giving Tuesday in
No,
favor
we
of the May
love
thing?
it. No,
I feel
no,
like it's
we love
okay.
both, and we support both because we do know that the greater Sacramento region is separated from North Tahoe. So no,
Yeah.
absolutely, we actually love dovetailing that into Arts and Culture Month, because it's a great way to have that call of action at the end of the month of support the arts, and here are just a few of the ones that you can do. And so any promotions that we can help support for you on Giving Tuesday, we are here for
Cool.
that. So it is definitely not a side note. That is right in front of us that we want to do in November. So absolutely.
Okay.
And we encourage everyone,
And it's
treat it early and start to get your collateral put together now for that Giving Tuesday, because just like
Yeah.
everything else, even though Giving Tuesday is that one day, everybody's already doing Black Friday sales now. So it's that same
Yeah.
thing of start pushing of, hey, yes, you can donate to us on Giving Tuesday, but you can also donate right now.
Yeah, and I'd love to sort of bend your ear a bit from a marketing perspective. I think Giving Tuesday nationally has really pumped up, but I've had friends who say, "Oh yeah, my email inbox is full of Giving Tuesday stuff."
Yeah.
So how much of that is good? How much of that is bad, just from a saturation standpoint? Just if you guys have not to answer it immediately, but especially Darcy kind of coming at that from a marketing.
I think
know.
that's a longer conversation that I would definitely be happy to have offline with you.
Yeah.
I think it's a great thing for us all to support. I definitely understand that it is Giving Tuesday is a great opportunity. Big Day of Giving is a huge commitment.
Yeah.
Most will average anywhere between $250 and $1,200 if they're really hustling. If you have a board of directors and you put each one in charge of raising $1,000 in matching, then you can raise anywhere between $5,000 and $12,000. The really, really active ones, like Roseville Theater Arts Academy, they do an entire 24-hour telethon on YouTube. And I think the last 2 years they've raised between $50,000 and $65,000. And they've really mobilized their entire, all of their students, all their past students, all the parents, and really gotten them involved. So it is possible, but then you'll also see some.
Just that story alone is kind of like having these little lunch chats. I think that could actually be a really awesome topic for, the last thing we'll need is another Zoom call, but maybe just sort of a call to folks like us, anyone who's sort of struggling, with ideas for that kind of thing. If anyone has insights they can share, besides just constantly putting it out there. I know I would find that of great advantage. I can't speak to anyone else, but just hearing something like that is really cool and inspirational. And
we can definitely share some tips.
Have these. Yeah, it's nice to have these chats just to sort of commiserate.
Glad to hear that.
You are not alone.
That feedback very much. Thank you for that feedback so that we can begin to plan how we can support you. So having more of these, that's great. Hey, Patrick.
Yes.
The young lady who spoke at the board meeting about the Big Day of Giving.
Yes.
Holman.
Yes.
Holden?
Holman.
Holman.
Holman. Haulman.
Okay. I received an email where she is hosting another conversation about the Big Day of Giving. Did you get it as well?
I did not see that.
Gathering circle. I will find the email so that we can at least hopefully get it sent out. And I can't remember the date.
We have a recording of our board meeting when she shared information on Big Day of Giving, if that would be helpful, True.
I think if we can get the link pushed out, that would be great. Or get the link pushed out, or at least get a notification sent to our community that it's available.
Yeah.
Okay.
I believe that's going to be in our next e-blast for October. So no problem. And I'll obviously make sure that we're sending out information on where people can continue to sign up, because a lot of the training happens and isn't it normally January? Is it when they start doing all their things down at KVIE? Because I know that the symphony is normally participating, right?
Yes. And you can get a mentor too.
Yes.
They ask people who've been doing it for a number of years if they're willing to be mentors, and you can start with somebody right away and they can help you one-on-one, which is a really good thing.
Wonderful.
Darcy, real quick, can you resend that link about the October 12th meeting? For some reason, I don't have it on my calendar and I can't get my hands on it.
Actually, I believe that you can use the same link that you used for today.
Oh, sweet. Okay.
Yeah. Didn't we, or was that a separate one? That they, no, that was the
it could be a separate.
ACPC. Sorry, no,
I
you're
will
right.
find it real quick. Yeah.
Darcy will be sending that, and that'll also be in our October 1st newsletter as well. So we won't leave you hanging.
Thank you.
You bet. Is there anything going on for the Rockland Fine Arts? We haven't heard from Linda. I want to make sure that I know that you have an event coming up in October. So can you share a little bit about that?
Yes. So we're having our annual membership art show on the third weekend of October. I believe it's the 21st and 22nd, noon to 5 p.m. And we're hoping to showcase all of our artists so they can show off what they've been doing. We also are showing off the sketch crawl. We have a glass case to show there's journals or photos of different places that we've gone to. Our sketch crawl is the first Thursday of every month, and this coming trip we'll be going to Sun City, Roseville.
Oh, wonderful.
So that'll be beautiful. We also have an art marketplace where there are artists who are selling small art and gifts. And then we have about 20 raffle baskets, theme baskets, and the proceeds for all of those baskets go to our student scholarship that we have the show and scholarship in April.
Yeah, I'd love to throw out that I'm always happy to give tickets for the Auburn Symphony for any of this kind of stuff. So if you're giving away stuff, please reach out to me. I can get you little gift certificates or whatever to throw in there. I'd be happy to do that anytime.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Yes. It was wonderful that you all sent out the email about our show a couple weeks ago or a week ago. So thank you very much. I've been a member for 16 years, and I'm just really happy that our vision is education, and that's to learn about the arts and encourage aspiring artists or hidden artists to try something. We have 86 members, and our members come and go, but I'm happy to say that there are some artists who kind of grow out of us because we're so grassroots, and they've gone on to be in galleries and are selling their paintings professionally, teaching professionally. So it's nice that we're that little help, little confidence builder. But we're a very friendly group, and we welcome you to come in and see what we're up to.
I'd like to give you a compliment as well, because the Rockland Fine Arts is not only a great incubator for burgeoning artists, but you also have made sure that your membership is educated in business, so that they're self-promoting and that they're becoming not just great artists, but becoming great business people. So that's a total kudos to you guys. So keep up the great work. It's amazing.
Thank you.
Great.
We also have a guest speaker every month, or almost every month, and Anthony Maki-Gill will be our guest speaker in November. So we're excited about that. And if you have any suggestions for guest speakers, please send them my way. We've had Sierra College Community Education, we've had Ridley Gallery, Blue Line. So we just love to share about the arts.
Good. Linda, will you email me the details on that, and we'll add it to our November lineup?
Yeah.
And
Maybe we can
also,
Maybe we can get Tawana or Barbara to be one of the guest speakers one month as well.
Would be glad to. Barbara, I know. She's
Oh, we all would, both would. Yeah, we
Barbara
enjoy.
would be great.
Yeah.
You know what, Linda, you hit up on something that we should highlight, and that is our youth. And ACPC is looking for a youth board member. So please help us spread the word. We want to make sure that we are completing our mission of bringing everyone along. And part of our mission includes having a youth board member to help us continue to meet our goals, fulfill our goals. So thank you for highlighting that. Spread the word. If anyone is interested, the link is on our website, and I have no doubt we'll be more than happy. And it's in the newsletter. I saw it in the newsletter. So yes.
Okay.
And Linda, we'll be featuring one of your Rockland fine artists, Susie Bauer, in our next Arts and Culture magazine. So maybe I'll put you in touch with Gloria, who's writing the story, and she can get some additional information to include about Rockland fine arts in the next publication.
Susie will do a wonderful job. She is a board member.
Great.
So, I mean, you can still put me in touch, but I'm confident that Susie will represent us.
Perfect. Thanks.
And then on the subject of youth too, I want to share that I recently joined Arts Now leadership program through createcalifornia.org. And I learned that I'm the only person from Placer County right now. So if anyone else wants to join me for being an Arts Now leader. So it's basically an advocacy group, and Create California pays you $1,500. It's not very much, but it's for 2 years, and they give you a meeting, I think every other month or so, but they're all about advocating for Prop 28 funds and the good use of those funds. So if any of you are interested in that, I'll drop a link to it. I just joined, and they're very organized, and it's so far so good.
That's awesome. That may be something our board needs to take a look at. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Perfect. Darcy, Tawana, is there anything else we need to cover? We're at 12:54, so we are just at our 1 hour mark. If we don't have any other questions, I think we're ready to wrap up.
Thank you guys.
I think
much
so.
for coming.
I finally found my second note on page 2. Just want to make sure everybody saw it in the chats. For more free promotions too, we always love to include you in our Art Scene Monthly newsletter. In addition to our arts and culture publication for Placer County, which comes out twice a year. So send photos, send story ideas, and we will follow up. We love to include information that you have.
Yes, and we've already highlighted in previous issues, Kristen with Lake Tahoe Dance Collective. Just because you've been featured once does not disqualify you. So if you would like to contribute photos or articles or anything else, we're trying to go a little more evergreen with digital distribution. So it also gives us a lot of flexibility. And I believe we may be having some options for not just articles, but if you want to put in it an ad for your arts and culture related organization, we can get you a half page into our digital publications. Just provide us, you can talk to Darcy. Are we still doing that, Darcy?
Yes, please.
With arts and culture. But I believe the bonus of that is, I believe if it's arts and culture related, it's free. If you want to give us a donation, we will gladly accept it. But we also know that all of you are under budget. Now, if it's a business like the Auto Mall or Kaiser or somebody else, they have to pay for ads. But if you want to put a half page ad and you can provide us with artwork, I believe it is free. If you need it to have Darcy design, there is a small design fee involved for placement. But we know that you need to sell tickets, you need to sell dance lessons, you need to sell art. So please reach out to Darcy or myself, and we can get you information so that we can include a little bit more of a advertising section that's paid promotions rather than just editorial. So we're trying to give as much. We can't do that with a print piece because we need to pay for every page. But with a digital piece, we can promote as many of our local arts organizations as possible. And Blue Line obviously included that as well. We gladly accept your donations, but this is something when they're trying to do for our arts and culture community for our digital distributions.
And
Cool.
thanks, Patrick. We'll also note that anybody who does pay for a full page ad will send out information about how they support the arts in an email. So it's kind of a bigger package this year. So please suggest to anyone who might be interested. We'd appreciate their support.
Absolutely. All right, Tawani.
I think, Patrick, you mentioned it
Oh.
very briefly.
Yes.
So the grant whole cycle and dates are all changing. You said that was coming out the beginning of December?
So our grants cycle will start again in January. So you'll be getting a notification that submissions will be due, and our next grant award won't be until January. We basically had to do just a reset to make sure that we had all of our every few years, we have to basically go through we'll just call it an audit, to where we make sure that all of our procedures are in line for all of our grants, that anyone that's receiving grants is understanding that, we're doing a 50-50, to where you have to then supply us with, event photos, attendance, basically proof that whatever you were doing, you actually did, so that we can then issue you the second half of the funds. Because believe it or not, there are people out there that never get that second check because they are slow to provide us with the information on the events and how they used the money. So we can't just give you all the money right up front. So January will be the next cycle. We are not going to be doing it 3 times a year. Barbara, is it going to be twice a year now? Yeah, twice a year. So instead of quarterly or semester, it's going to be twice a year for grants. So it makes it a little easier on us. Otherwise, we're constantly grading grants.
Back to the usual routine post-COVID.
Yep. Anne, go ahead.
Yeah.
Do you need to, as far as the application cycle, do you need to have your event happen within a certain time frame of when you apply?
It can't be before the deadline. So it's going to have to be into the future. Barbara, is it within that 6-month period? Is it basically within the next calendar year?
I'm going to be real honest here, guys. We're rewriting it and we're looking at it really closely, but it'll probably be within the 6 months of the timeline. So we're going to try to get it out, the information, by the end of December, please. And then in January, not sure exactly what date, it will be out on our hopefully new website. And the dates are to be determined, but you're going to have probably a couple of months to do it, and not to do the events, but to do the grant. And then we would hope, there's always circumstances, that it would be done and completed by June, the project, because come June is our new fiscal year, the end of June, and then we will start over again.
Yeah, thank you. It just to, and this may affect other people as well. Our challenge comes in that the timing of things, like we can't apply for it until the thing is already programmed and happening. And then, so it's hard to plan for events, like how many schools we can go visit when we don't know what our funding is ahead of time. So we have to kind of, keep our fingers crossed, but that's just a reality of the way it goes. Of course, we're seeking funds from multiple sources, so it's not only here, but of course.
And you may have to get a little bit more creative on how the grants are written or what it's being used towards, because one of the conditions that we are working with to be able to get our funding is that right now, none of the funding can be used for programs at a school during school hours. So it would have to be
Seriously?
Right now we can.
It's not our decision. We would fund as many things during the day as possible, but because there was so much funding coming from the state to the schools, our funding was given a caveat that we can only fund things before or after school hours for grants.
Wow.
So it
that is a huge
things.
Disappointment to us.
And it is for us, and we're still fighting it. So we want letters of support to support school hour programs and how this funding change is detrimental to us. So it is one of those things that we are going to bring to you to say, these are the things that have been put on. And there were plenty of grants in our last grant cycle that we wanted to fund that were very much what we love to support. But because the programs were during school hours and not before or after, we were not able to issue grants. So
Who makes that determination? Placer County?
Placer County, the
We'll
economic
keep
development.
fighting for you.
What do they not understand about this? God, let me at them. Let me at them.
Yeah. No,
All right.
yeah.
I will help you,
I'll
Ann.
start writing letters. Let me know
Thank
who
you.
I send
Yeah.
them to.
Working with them on
We-
this.
That's
In our
that's
schools, there's not
horrible.
even an art
God.
program.
Ah,
Yeah,
1 step forward, 5 steps back, right?
Yeah, and we are working to fight that as well, because we are showing we are sharing all this with them of how that one small decision, this should not be a political thing of just because there are grants coming from the state level that are large, that doesn't mean that the underserved communities in Placer County are receiving any of that money. So the fact that what we're doing is so important is where we're going to be sharing that. And we're getting great funding, and we appreciate every dime that we get from Placer County. And we are looking at additional grant dollars that we're trying to do to not have those caveats on it, so that we're controlling where the money comes from. But we haven't been able to secure those grants yet. So we will be reaching out to you.
We highlighted your music in the schools to the Placer County Board of Supervisors, so you're there in our
Okay,
annual
thank
report,
you.
Lake
Yes.
Tahoe Dance
I've
Festival.
had multiple conversations with the whole economic development team. They're one man short right now, so I'm meeting with them virtually every 2 weeks. They've got a new staff member. Nicole is out for health reasons until the first of the year. So we're pushing it. We're trying to wiggle our way and make it happen because it's so important.
Yeah.
Well, feel free to invite me to a meeting. I will be happy to talk to them in person in a professional, encouraging way.
Hey, Ann,
Would you
I
be
will
willing
offer up
come
to
a
you.
virtual meeting with me?
Hey, Ann, I
Yes,
would
ma'am.
offer up to you, when you have those events, please make sure that you are tagging them. Please make sure you give them an opportunity to come to the event so that they can see the work that you are doing.
You're talking about who specifically?
Board of
The Board of
Supervisors.
Supervisors?
The Board of Supervisors. I'm not going to tell you they're going to show up at every event. I just know that the reception that we received when we did the presentation was so wonderful. It was so encouraging. And we have received multiple emails stating, please invite us to your event. There are some who are going to show up. That will be a great opportunity to showcase this is where the dollars are going. And we can so appreciate your partnership with ACPC for allowing us to be able to have that funding be a part of the grant sources. Now, we are attacking it in multiple ways. That's one of the reasons why we're doing Big Day of Giving, so that we can have extra funding that is not tied to their requirements. But bringing them out into the community, I think, is a great way for them to be able to speak to where the money is going. The need is out there, and they're hearing directly from you. They are hearing directly from you, as well as they can talk to some of our community who is benefiting. If they can see those students, oh my gosh, that to me is just a telltale. Yes.
Thank you.
Ann, do you have any more student afternoons where you're going in, or are they done for the year?
No, the program happens in January.
Okay.
Where we go into the schools, because it's kind of directed around when our family concert is, which is in February. So we're going to like 9 schools, I think, in January. We're also going to senior facilities now, and we still have our young artist competition. So maybe for the next grant cycle, we focus on those programs that are not in schools.
The seniors and the young artists, focus on that one.
We'll focus on that, but I will be inviting supervisors to our event. I invite them a lot and they don't show up. So it's not like I don't try, but I will keep trying. And again, I'm available always to write letters. I'll talk to my board and to be supportive in any way that I can.
My suggestions, and if everyone's not familiar with who their district supervisor is, I put the link into the chat so you can look up your supervisor to contact them directly. If you want to invite them to events, join a board of supervisor meeting. It doesn't have to be in person. You can do a public comment on the Zoom. And if you're in Tahoe City, you can even go to their facility there, and they have a room where you can do public comment from Tahoe City or from the Zoom as well, and actually invite them through the board of supervisors where it's a recorded public comment. And
Right.
I think that even if you don't have the supervisor that's able to show up because of their schedule, you will at least have a staff member that will show up and then report back. So that is what I would suggest. And if you don't have time to join a board meeting, then do a personalized message through social media, tag them. The main thing is make it as public as possible so that if the invitation is not accepted, you can refer back to, we were disappointed that we were not able to have them attend, but we look forward to having them visit in the future. So keep it public.
Or making reference to it as an enrichment rather than a part of an educational process that happens all the time, because enrichment is totally different. And so we've been using that word to make them understand that all of us, everybody sitting here, has gone to a public school, who has gone to a public school in one part of their life, has had an enrichment program either coming into their school or they've been given the opportunity during the school day to go to an event. So if you say enrichment rather than part of the educational program, it's an add-on, and that's what we're saying. This is so important.
Well,
And MaryTess, I loved your, sorry, Patrick, I was gonna say,
No, go
MaryTess,
ahead.
I loved your testimonial that the teachers observed those who needed the most were benefiting the most from
Yeah.
these arts programs, so.
Yeah. And the amount of time and energy you all put into these school programs, you lose money on this. You are investing in our community. This is not something that you are doing as a profit generator. So you are actively giving back to our community. And even though, a sixth grader can't vote, their parents can, and that will be a voter in the future. So please, please, please help to make sure that the next generation is prioritizing arts, and that hopefully just even if we touched, I don't want to say that, even if we impact the lives of just a few children, then, maybe we do have the next artist or the next, Yo-Yo Ma. And I know that from some of the young artists that we've had go through the Auburn Symphony, we absolutely have the next Yo-Yo Ma and the pianist and the violinist that are in our areas that are phenomenal. So, if we can get any of those winners, and maybe we get them onto Good Day Sacramento, we take them into the studio and we do
Good idea. The young man who will be performing at our February concert, his name is Benjamin Jang, and he's a cellist. He's still in high school in the Folsom area, and I know it's not in our county, but they do a program. He and other students put together a program called Back to Bach. Mm-hmm. And they go into schools and do this program on their own, with students. So he's a great one to get on Good Day Sacramento. We'll talk offline about that.
They are constantly needing story ideas, so we would be happy to coordinate and make that happen with you. So,
yeah.
And those are wonderful ways to promote things. Just because just because it's hard to get the entire symphony together for something, or when you're doing the art in the parks, that's not something that it's hard to get them out there on a weekend when there are literally 20 public events going on at the same time. But if we can get one or two musicians or a dancer in a Nutcracker costume into the studio, or even via Zoom, we will be glad to facilitate that. Good Day Sacramento is absolutely one of our strongest partners. That does not mean that Fox 40 or KCRA or ABC doesn't support us, but Good Day Sacramento every day from 7 a.m. to 11 They are all news on CW31, and from 8 to 11, they are hungry for great, fun community stories. So we need to help provide that so that we keep the arts in Placer County and the greater Sacramento region at the top of mind.
And,
Off my soapbox.
Patrick, to your long term, we brought that up to them that, you know, we're changing for the future voters. That kind of didn't fly. So then I went to the approach of, you can change a child's life in an instant. They see a piece of art, they see a dancer, they hear some music, it clicks something in their brain that says, that's what to do. And so now we're doing that approach also, saying,
Yeah.
you know, the kid who's 7 years old hears music and all of a sudden it clicks in his brain, and he potentially could have been somebody who was going to cause problems, and now he's got something he's excited about. So
Yes.
yeah.
Or she.
Yeah.
Wonderful. Well, thank you guys. We're at 1:13. If there's no other questions, this doesn't end here. This is why we get together. Don't hesitate to reach out to us, reach out to each other, make those connections. Let's get dancers, or let's get some symphony up in Tahoe to cross promote, and, you know, whatever we can do to help promote the arts across the entire county and greater Sacramento region. We want people coming from Davis to events in Auburn and Lake Tahoe and in Rockland and Roseville. So please keep talking to each other. And if you're talking to someone else before we do this again, invite them to come along with you, and we'll share more ideas, and we'll brainstorm, and we'll try to do our best to help each other grow and raise more money during Giving Tuesday and Big Day of Giving and every day of the year. So thank you guys. This is going to be the end of the recording. This is Patrick with the Arts Council of Placer County. If you want to learn more about us, visit placerarts.org. Bye guys.
Thank you.
Yeah.